Hey guys, so today we are talking about rational exponents, and you guys did a cool little activity with me in Desmos where you matched up these cards and we talked about some key things here of what you noticed. So one thing that you guys noticed was this number stayed the same, and we call this number the base of the power or the base of the exponent. The second thing you guys started to bring up and about is that you noticed a couple of these numbers would match, like this 2/4. You saw a 2 and a 4 here. The 1/3, you saw a 3 out here. There is something at work here, guys, where that 5 and that 3 are coming in handy in where they're placed. So some of you noticed that the placement changes a little bit, but the numbers stay the same. So the placement of that power, that fraction, changes as you go. All right, so you literally created this new idea that if I have a base x to any power that is written as a fraction, such as x as our base to the power of 5 divided by 3, then we can rewrite that in a different form that would still be equal in value. So what we learned is the top piece of our fraction goes inside with our base. This is what we call the power on the base. And that power goes inside with the base of x. What you noticed about the bottom number is that it goes on the outside of the root symbol, and hence why we call this the root. It tells us what kind of root is this equivalent to. So this is what we call a cubed root of x to the 5th power. And so we're just going to keep this in mind, and we're going to go back and forth between the two forms, because sometimes it's easier to simplify using the root form, and sometimes it's easier to play with the exponent form, the fraction as a power form. So we're going to go back and forth. In your notebooks, I want you to write the following. Please write this down in your notebooks as number 19, rational exponents. So powers are exponents that are fractions. We can write with the power being on top and the root being on the bottom. So down below we have an example of b as our base to the power of 3 divided by 2. So that means the 3 is our power, the b is still our base inside the root symbol, and we also know that the root is 2. Now the cool thing about this, guys, is the lowest possible root you can have is a 2. So because of this, mathematicians will not write the 2 in front of the root symbol, because that is the lowest possible root you can actually take of something. So note that you don't have to write the 2 there, but you're more than welcome to if you'd like. All right, time for some examples. We have 4. Get ready, here we go. So notice this first example is in root form. That means we want to change it to be in power form. So to go into power form, we need to know what is the base. Well, the base is x. Our power comes from inside the root. So 7 will be the top part of our fraction exponent. And then the root value, the cube root, will go as the bottom part of the fraction exponent. So our answer is a base of x to the power of 7 divided by 3. In example 2, we're given a power with a. So we are going to rewrite this as a root of some sort. All right, so let's figure this out. Our base is still going to be little c. Our power comes from the top, and that power goes inside with the base of c. The bottom of your fraction exponent represents the root. So we'd call that the 5th root of c to the 1st power. Now, if you have something to the first power, guys, you're okay with just leaving off that power of 1. It's okay. You can write it as just the 5th root of c. That is equivalent as well. Last 2 examples, here we go. Example 3 is a root, so we're going to rewrite that as a power. So we need the base of our power, which is 32. The power we've got here is a 3. And the root comes from outside of the root. So the bottom of our fraction exponent is 5. So altogether, I am equivalent to a base of 32 to the power of 3 divided by 5 as my exponent. Example 4 has a fraction as the exponent. So first things first, we're going to rewrite this as a root of something. And that root must have a base. So that base is going to be 2a according to what's written. The power on that base will be a 5. It goes inside the root with the base. And the bottom part of our fraction exponent represents our root. So the 6 will go on the outside. So this is equivalent to the 6th root of the quantity 2a to the power of 5. Now it's time to practice.